A special screening in London showcased 4 Irish short films that are all Oscar qualified and hope to emulate the success of An Irish Goodbye, winner of the 2023 Academy Award for Best Live Action Short Film. Portia of Buckley's Clodagh stars Bríithne Nocton and rising star Caitlin Rose Downey.
So it's about this priest's housekeeper in rural Ireland who runs a local dance class on her day off. And one day, Clodagh, this young dancer, comes into her life and comes into the class and kind of, does the most spectacular dance and turns her whole life around. She comes across a moral conundrum, which is like whether or not she brings Clodagh into her class because she's from another postcode, another area. And it's really a film about bureaucracy and kind of red tape and fundamentally coming up against passion and artistry, and the fact that this young girl's dance moves Mrs. Kelly so kind of fundamentally to her core, and she experiences passion like she's never experienced before. The pairing of Bríithne Nocton, who plays Mrs. Kelly, who's an incredibly seasoned, actor, incredible stage actor, incredible presence, incredible professional, incredible on the screen, with Caitlin Rose Downey. Caitlin, 2-time world Irish dancer champion, who also happens to be an incredible actor. She's actually currently doing Blade Runner TV show, shooting in Prague. She's done The Nun, she's done The Princess, and she's our Clodagh. It was an amazing experience working with someone that was, so talented in Irish dance, and that, could just, she played the part so naturally and effortlessly, which, you don't necessarily have with young actors. She's really gifted. I think it's a very hopeful movie, and I think we need hope, especially now, and I think it's inspiring, and I think it's really about the fact that art can change people and can move people for the better. So yeah, really, anyway, very happy to be in the situation we're in, and in such good company.
The boat aims to raise awareness about the crushing threat leprosy still carries throughout the world.
Yeah, so we were doing some work with the Mission to End Leprosy, which is a charity headquartered in Dublin, and he told us this heartbreaking story about a young girl called Dukia, and Dukia's story is essentially that she's a young girl who got leprosy now in today's environment, which we were shocked by, because anybody we talk to, says the same thing. When they hear that we've made a film about leprosy, they think, or they say, is leprosy still a disease? Is it still out there? I thought that was a disease of Bible times. But no, the unfortunate reality is that it's still very much an issue in lots of places in the world. So we wanted to appeal to people's hearts rather than their heads. So we made a piece of narrative cinema based on the true story of Dukia's life. Well, cinema is a unique medium because it's an emotional medium. There is documentary, and if I was another filmmaker, I would have made a documentary on this piece. But my skills and expertise, and the skills and expertise of my brother Jake, the musician, lend themselves more to narrative cinema. And with narrative cinema, you get the opportunity to place the audience in the shoes of one character, and by telling one character's story, you hopefully tell everybody's story, and that's what we wanted to do with The Boat. It's a story hewn from emotion, and we hope that it will continue to resonate with audiences going forward, Oscars or no Oscars.
It can be conquered. There's no reason in this modern world we couldn't eradicate leprosy.
Absolutely. The fact that it's so easy to eradicate leprosy, it's so cheap, that the fact that it still prevails and is still an issue in today's world is a great source of shame, or should be a great source of shame to humanity. But our film really was, in essence, trying to tell a very simple human and emotional story between a father and his daughter, Raoul and Dukia, and the choices that, unfortunately, sometimes we have to make in order to protect the ones that we love.
Unfortunately, there's no beds available tonight.
Strange things have been happening. Like, I've been hearing weird noises.
Room Taken tackles pressing themes such as the rising homelessness population in Ireland.
No, I don't think so, madam.
Vicky, it's not uncommon for someone in your situation to hallucinate. It's one of the ways that losing your sight can play tricks on you.
Now, don't you be saying that I'm away with the fairies.
Because you see it a lot, especially on the news, that and especially in Ireland at the moment, it's not a great situation for an awful lot of people. That we wanted to treat it with a little bit of hope, a little bit of levity, and I think we were trying to structure it as well as kind of a fairy tale and sort of build to this ending that we hope leaves people wanting to know more about our characters, but also with a sense of hope at the end as well.
I was sent the script and I thought it was a beautiful story, not one I'd come across before, quite unusual, dealing with loneliness and the loneliness of the immigrant and the loneliness of the bereaved older woman living on her own and being in close proximity to another person who she can't see but has a sense of their goodness and is warmed by that presence that she doesn't know. She doesn't know who it is, but who she rationalised to be her dead husband, but knows that there's something beyond that. And I thought it was a strong story about homelessness, how it can happen to anybody. And it was just such an unusual little story, I must say, when I came across it. I think it resonates, this film.
The hardest things to take often sort of need something that makes it go down a little bit easier, and that's sort of a universal sentiment. But I sort of knew that I wanted to come on board with this straight away because, well, first of all, the character shares, the same ethnic background, but aside from that, like I said, it's something that's really topical and really top of mind at the moment in Ireland. There's a housing crisis, there's homelessness, people are really struggling at the moment, and I just think it's, like I said, it's something that really touches close to home, and it's something that a lot of people can really connect to, and I think it's really important. There's a very human core there. It's something that can happen to any one of us at any time. We're never too far away from it. So yeah, I think it's a real issue, and I think the film does a really good job of showing that, but also showing the humanity of it.
Jamie O'Rourke's calf has already had IFTA success.
Ambulance.
And the experience that's inspired it was a documentary I worked on that was, interviews with women who had fled to domestic abuse shelters. But really, when you break down the essence of it, there's, if you go on Women's Aid, there's a statistic: 1 in 4 Irish women at one point in their life will experience some form of abuse from a current or former partner. If you know more than 4 women, then you know somebody who's experienced this, and I think that's everybody, So really is. I'd encourage anybody to go on to womensaid.ie just to familiarise yourself with how prevalent the issue is. Yeah. CAF has done very well internationally, as in it's resonated with audiences around the world, and I think that's for that very specific reason. It is an issue that doesn't really know any borders, and I think that's what, and these type of things, any sort of news around Oscars and stuff like that, yes, it is a certain type of thing, but also it brings awareness, brings around focus onto those things that you made the film for in the first place, so that's always a positive, The whole idea behind the film is that we do keep these things, or we did in Ireland, behind closed doors. And actually both Coach and Anya, the 2 main characters, the mother and the daughter, they represent different stages of Ireland. I think in Ireland, in Anya's case, the mother that kept this stuff maybe behind closed doors as a general rule. Whereas now I think we're a bit more open. It hasn't changed the actual statistics, unfortunately. We're seeing that domestic abuse is on the rise even in some cases, and we see with recent news stories it certainly hasn't gone away. So I would encourage anyone to go to womensaid.ie and engage with what's going on.
And it's so great to see just Irish talent and people like Jamie finally kind of getting the acknowledgement they deserve for the work they've put into these films and kind of getting Irish stories in the spotlight. And I think people are finally starting to see the amount of talent that Ireland has to offer, which I think is really great.
He's lost blood, a lot of blood.
Isabel Connolly has been tipped to follow in the footsteps of Saoirse Ronan and Eve Hewson.
Is it flattering though, or do you not take too much notice?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't necessarily like I don't know. I've never heard it personally. I don't know if I actually believe people have said these things about me. But it would be flattering to be compared to anyone like that people have said, because these people are just insanely talented, and to do even a fraction of what they've done would be amazing for me. So yeah, I mean it's really nice that people have said those things. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really think too much of it, because you just never know, I guess.
Everything, I remember we were the first day on set, and about an hour into shooting, and our DOP, Colm Hogan, an amazing cinematographer, he just said to me, it's very simple, you believe everything she does, and you do. She really, she's an incredible actress, and it's great. She carries the whole film, along with Kate Nick and Yanik, who plays Anya. The both of them are just powerful actors, so really, really great. Yeah.